undergone the training programs at Sarthak and are gainfully employed. So that's the story behind it. So as I said earlier, the day is observed on April 2nd every year, and it serves as a platform to increase understanding and the acceptance of autism spectrum disorder ASD worldwide. It's a day to recognize the diverse talents and strengths of individuals who are unfortunately caught up with autism, while also advocating for their rights and inclusion in all aspects of the society. Through education, advocacy, and promoting the culture of acceptance, we can create a much more inclusive world where individuals with autism can thrive and reach their full potential. So we have seen in the past and over our experience in the last 15 years after being associated with Sarthak, we see how committed these people are and how gainfully they're employed at different places, and their intelligence is far beyond any recognition. And Sarthak has been really helping, trying to achieve the goals and also to foster the understanding of these special needs people within the society, benefiting individuals with their disabilities, their families, and their wider community. So it's a very great time to really help these people. Just to give you a background, that in the last 15 years, we have persons with disabilities which we have trained is more than 48,000, and more than 38,500 we have placed them. This covers all types of disabilities which does occur. So today we have gathered together to talk about the diverse abilities of hiring PwDs embracing autism in the workplace. With me on the panel speaking opportunities, for the speaking opportunities, we have Mr. Harsh Joshi, Head of Strategy and Operations at Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, a very renowned Navratna public sector. Then we have Ms. Suchita joining in as Program Manager from Indigo. Just to give you a background, we have Indigo has been good for us, and they have placed more than 50 plus candidates from this category. Then we have Mr. Tarun Khatri, Product Manager, India Mart, Ms. Swati Bhatt, HRBP Manager at India Mart, and India Mart, we have placed more than 100 plus candidates so far. And then we have Ms. Pushpa, HR Manager from Zudio. Zudio has also absorbed more than 40 candidates from startup. And from the alumni category, we have a couple of friends from the alumni, Mr. Ganesh, Mr. Ajay, Mr. Suhas P, Ms. Savita Suryavanshi, Salim Kakar, Rishabh Arya, and Shumi Verma. So, and from the autism awareness side, we have Pooja Tapriyal. She has been the early intervention lead with us. We will be talking about her experience. And then also we have the GRC visitor speakers. So we have a full panel, full variety of people amongst us. And I would start with our guest speakers, which are there from the hiring partners. And I could see Harsh Joshi to make a beginning. Harsh, the stage is yours. And I may ask you a few questions as well while you're speaking.
Sure, sir.
Over to Harsh.
Yeah, a very good afternoon, everybody. I'm Harsh Joshi. I'm working with Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited. And we are very fortunate to have been a part of Silent Voices initiative. So what is Silent Voices? So at Bharat Petroleum, this was our Chairman and Managing Director, Mr. KK sir's idea of employing PwDs across our network. Bharat Petroleum, so we are a Maharatna now. We are one of the highest profitable Maharatnas. This year, we have already done more than 22,000 crores net profit. So yeah. So we are directly or indirectly, we are employing around a few lakh people across India, across our multiple businesses. And we saw a lot of potential. Mainly, our chairman saw a lot of potential in terms of employing PwDs, and that's we started with Silent Voices. So at Silent Voices, we are employing SHI and minor OH individuals at a few stations, mainly for 4 role categories. And I'm happy to share that as of now, we have recruited them at more than 150 few stations across India with around 220, 230 plus individuals. Have recently engaged with Sarthak Educational Society, and let me tell you, the experience has been phenomenal. We have been increasing our footprint, and we are looking to employ a few thousand people in the coming months. So it's just that the ecosystem, we are trying to make our channel partners understand what benefits they are bringing. And to be honest, their performance is speaking for themselves.
Harsh, very good to hear from you about the performance of the candidates and the Sarthak support to you. And
Yeah.
I'm sure with your Mahanavratna status, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I was just a step back, but good that you corrected me. And with this status coming in and clocking in a great turnover, I think you have an excellent job towards the society, which you are doing it in a very, very good fashion. So I appreciate that. So in our experience with Sarthak, what exactly you find positive about us and what exactly you find positive about the candidates? And not only the positives, but the shortcomings or the challenges which you would have had so far in engaging with Sarthak. I would like to hear from you.
Yeah. So I would first like to start with our silent warriors, like we love to call them. Uh, our network had an apprehension that they may not be able to communicate, because when a customer comes at a few station, the dealerships had the apprehension that the customers want to interact. The customers may not be patient with them to understand whether they would be able to interact effectively or not. So if we are talking about a two-wheeler DSM, so delivery salesman who is at a two-wheeler MPD, fueling mainly two-wheelers petrol customers, they do on average of 500 to 1,000 transactions in a day. So there were a lot of apprehensions regarding whether they would be able to perform effectively, they would be able to communicate properly, whether they would be understand what the customer is saying. But let me tell you, in all those 100 plus few stations across India, 99% the people who have been employed, they have been doing a phenomenal job. And to be very honest, as soon as customer comes to know that it's a PwD who is catering them, servicing them, they are being very patient with them. And also we have started with the metro cities. But having said that, this is the first time in any of the OMC that we have went across 150 plus few stations across India. But our target is to do much more. We want to cover 10% of the network, which is 2,200 few stations in the coming months and years. One major challenge that we are facing yet is majority of our network is on the highways, is on class D1, D2 class of markets, and there the pool of PWDs is still scarce. I won't say they are not present there, but they are scarce. Second, the traveling becomes a challenge for them on a daily basis, because in cities we can still manage it out, but on the highways it becomes a challenge. Third is on the internal side of it. It's regarding the efficient training. I always say that if a PWD is not able to communicate properly, the fault lies among us and not with them. We have not trained them properly. We have not been able to give them the efficient training, right? So that still becomes a challenge, and we are trying to work on the training part of it along with our partners like you, a couple of other organizations that we work with, and also effectively trying to develop pictorial video training based programs so that we can communicate with them effectively. And yeah, so these are a couple of the challenges with Sarthak. I would
Mhm.
say we recently started few months back, but the experience has been very pleasant because Sarthak has been very proactive. I still remember the first call. Actually, we met one of your colleague over a program which you guys were having in Mumbai, and I started inquiring, and then after a few months I gave them a call. Within a span of 15 days we had shared a list of around 50 fuel stations across India, and we had a few recruitments which are already done. So the proactiveness I really appreciated about
Okay.
Sarthak. And we have entered into a MOU also with you guys, and in the coming months and years looking to scale it up aggressively.
Fantastic. Thank you, Harsh, for giving us this feedback. And let me tell you that, okay, the challenge for their transportation and living nearby the petrol pumps would be really an issue which we need to really sort it out. But I'm sure over a period of time, we'll try to figure out some
Yeah.
betterment, some arrangements which can really make it. So, like we just had, I won't comment on that, but we just heard, like for example, Apple, which is the highest phone manufacturing company in India, they've started getting the what you call the place to stay for their engineers
Yeah.
within or near the premises. So that's one way to sort it out. So maybe not only you as such, but collectively some agencies, some entities which are there on the highways, because especially the Mumbai Delhi expressway is coming in a much different fashion, where
Yeah.
you'll have a lot many retail outlets over there. So some
Yeah.
kind of a community living for these people in and around those would be an idea which you can talk about with the NHAI and other stakeholders, which can give some kind of relief for their commuting. So that's one thought I had. And secondly, as far as your training or interacting with the people with the special needs or the silent warriors, I would suggest that more engagement from our side with your colleagues and with your peers
Yeah.
who are on day-to-day basis interacting with them. We should have some sessions so that we make them aware of how to deal with them, how to talk to them, how to really nurture them. Because we have seen a lot many challenges which happens are not because of the candidate, not because of the candidates' performance, but how they deal and how they are treated by the peers and colleagues and
True.
what you call the hiring, the superiors or the juniors. That's very important. I have seen many people run away from their initial jobs just because they cannot get fit into this environment. Because
Yeah.
for life, they have never been into these environment, both sides, neither the student nor the person who is getting employed, nor the people who are working along with them. So it's a real mix and match we have to find between the two, and the grooves have to be fitted well, because these guys have got an opportunity, lifelong opportunity to work somewhere, which they never foresaw nor their parent foresaw. And today they've got it. And we get some people whom we cannot command the way we
Yeah.
are used to command. So
Yeah.
some orientation sessions with our own team, with our own mentors we have, I think that will be beneficial for you guys or your guys to really handle them and do it in a much cohesive manner. So thank you, Harsh, for this insight.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm sure moving forward with the span you have, with the kind of country presence BPCL has, I'm sure we'll do wonders and we'll give a much more contribution to bring them to the mainstream of the society. So I think you will play a great role in that. And I really thank you for being with us as a great partner to begin with. So thank you very much, Harsh.
Thank
Moving
you, sir.
on from Harsh, I would like to have Suchita if she's there in the program manager from Indigo. Is she there on the
So
panel?
from so we don't have Suchita ji from
Okay,
Indigo. We
okay,
have Parag ji. He's from Zudio.
okay. So
Yeah.
let's listen to Parag from Zudio, that what role Sarthak has played and supported Zudio about it, and what does Zudio do? Could you come forward, Parag?
Yeah. So hi team, Parag this side from Studio
Thank you.
HR team. I'm looking after the Mumbai cluster. So we started this project for hiring a PwD employee with Sarthak in I think some month of December. The first need was that the company need was that we are looking hiring opening so many stores of Zudio, as there is a lot of positive response from the customers. So already opened from April to last March. We opened around 200 stores in pan India. So the employee requirement was on a higher side, and that's also with the if we talk about retail, there is a lot of attrition. So it always go beyond 15% every time. It will not be less than that, but more than that. So we were looking after to tackling that situation. How can we ask employee to stay? So with that, we started this project to go for the PwD candidates where we can get that stability. That was the major concern that we were having at the time, because hiring new people and training them every time. So that was affecting the business. So that with that point of view, we started with the PwD candidates, and the response was very swift. Actually, the Sarthak helped us a lot in that case, because getting the interviews done in the Sarthak own places. Around 30-40 candidates were there approx, and all were for the Mumbai city. And we also having the some candidates which we interviewed outside the Mumbai, so rest of Maharashtra, Pune, Nashik, Nagpur location. So response was really good. The coordination was smooth, and for that reason, we able to manage our count. Almost I think so 90, 80, 90% were turned up and joined the company after in I think so 15 days time. After that, once we had the placement interviews, we had them onboarded within the 15 days. So that was a smooth coordination, I can say, in that part. And second thing was that talking about the experience that we had with these candidates, uh, you can say they are more loyal, they are more dedicated to the work that they are doing, and some of their mm, you can't I can explain their enthusiasm and working with Studio. So that was a totally great experience that we had while onboarding, and also now when we are dealing with them daily. So they are well trained, and they are well they want to work basically. That's what my experience is.
Great. So that's fantastic and good to know. What challenges, if you would have faced any in hiring these special abilities people, and how you could overcome them, and what really helped to overcome with the association of Sarthak?
So
any thought there?
basically, even if the associate level, we are hiring on the payroll of Trend. So basically, Tata Retail Enterprise, we hire them on board with the Trend payroll. So the major challenges was the documentation and everything, cause people there in the floor, so basically hiring managers, they don't know how to communicate with them. So Sarthak helped us. We had one session with Sarthak for them, for all the hiring manager, all the store managers there in the store. So whoever we are placing these candidates, we had one session with them, and Sarthak made them understand the basic languages that we required while speaking to this candidate. And then with that part, the documentation was easier to communicate. And also, if we stuck anywhere, we used to coordinate with Sarthak coordinator, whoever there, they were helping us to communicate with them, communicate with their family members, and that all coordination went really smooth. There are some candidates which joining has been delayed, but yeah, that also get managed. I think so. You're on mute if you're talking, Sandeep.
Yeah, sorry. No, thank you, Parag, for that. And I'm sure going forward, Zudio will have a better experience, and any support we need from Sarthak's side,
Yes.
we'll definitely provide you. And as I said, I was talking to Harsh, I think some kind of an interaction between the people who handle them, people who are meeting them daily or who are working with them, along with our teams, should be able to give them more inputs and more training and
Yes.
more orientation in terms of how to deal with them. So definitely
Yes.
our officers will be more vigilant, and more training and orientation would be required to handle these situations. And I'm sure with your efforts and with the Tata Retail, you're looking. So is it only Zudio with Tata Retail, or you have many other joint
So
ventures or
we
something
have
like that?
some joint venture. West Side is there, then Hypermarket
Acha.
Star Bazaar is also there. But yeah, I am
Okay,
particularly looking after Zudio. So we started this project as an Zudio, but I think they will also have some PwD candidates. So we are looking to scaling up.
excellent.
So we are waiting for this appraisal and promotion cycle, and then I think so from May we will having the new
Good.
count to hire, and then we'll see for scaling up these candidates.
Very good. Thank you so much for getting them onboarded, because the kind of lifestyle and the kind of working environment and the kind of social involvement we are having with these hiring happening and people start working, I think it will bring a lot of change in the society in terms of their working and also the acceptance of them in the society. Because every year now, every time we see and we see the progress of the country and others, I think their involvement is a must. And if we are able to do that, I think we have a fastest scaling up of the society. And with the people with such needs getting educated and getting employed, I think that's the best way to transform the society in a much better manner, I will say that. So thank you,
Yes.
Parag, for joining us. So Tejasvita,
Okay.
anybody else from the hiring partners we have here?
Yes, sir, we have Tarun ji and Swati ji from India
Okay,
Mart. So Swati ji will
excellent.
be speaking. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, Swati, look forward to hear from you from India Mart. And Swati is the HRBP manager at India Mart. And just to give you a feedback that they've employed more than 100 candidates in India Mart. So over to you, Swati.
Hi, thank you so much. So we started this program. Basically, we had a third-party vendor who was looking after the seller part of communication. But post-COVID hit, everything was affected, as we all know. So we were looking forward to help families in distress who were financially unstable. So we started this freelancer program with around 7 people in 2020. And today, proudly, we are 5,000 plus, the India's largest freelancing program that we have. Sarthak, I think Sarthak was initially working with the AOP, which is on the buyer side, but now they've started working with us. So there are two portfolios that we have, one on the buyer side and one on the seller side, because as you all know, India Mart is a biggest B2B market, partner that connects buyers and sellers. So we have around 100 plus people from Sarthak who are there. They're completely working from home. There's flexible timing. They get weekly payout based on the work that's done. Training is being provided. Now, here, since this is a freelancing program and people, the agents have to connect with the sellers, so there are certain requirements that we have. We might not be able to onboard everybody, every kind of PwD candidate that we get. So we have certain criteria. I think Tarun will be able to help us better with the numbers. So I'll ask Tarun to share details regarding the program and the numbers related to Sarthak.
Sure. Thank you.
Sure, Tarun.
Hi everyone. Hi. So thanks for providing us this opportunity to speak. Our program is basically like a call-based program. So we require people who can speak Hindi and English and having basic knowledge about the internet and computer. So this is the basic requirement which is required for the program. So anyone who can speak Hindi and English because most of the customers are from North, right? So that is the reason we require people who can speak Hindi and English, and the basic knowledge of internet and computer is required for this role, and anything else that can be managed through training that we are doing on regular basis, and we do daily connects with the people to help them. As far as Sarthak is concerned, we had odd 100 people from here, and they are doing good in their role, and they're earning they started earning in the initial stage. They were earning very less, but now they are doing good. And as I think this role is very it could be very helpful for those people who is not able to move because they can sit at home and earn a good amount through this role. So we seek more and more applications from the startup side. That is what I can say here.
So if I may ask, Tarun, when you say that freelancing and their earnings are great, so what kind of a model of payment is involved? Is it there something fixed plus commission, or if the sale
No.
happens or if the partnership happens, how does that work?
It is pay as you go. Like how much work you will done, you will get the payout.
Acha.
There is no fixed
not
payouts in this.
not linked to it. Suppose a buyer buys or a seller sells through this transaction, they get paid as well as a bonus or something like that.
This is not about the transactions. India, what is as you know, we have like a million of suppliers listed here, and we have a separate team for the buyers and for the sellers to help free sellers like onboard and enrich their profile. These calls were being made by our freelancers,
Acha.
and just to help them to enrich their profile. This is not a sales profile, completely non-sales profile, just an support system for the sellers.
So once you reach a certain momentum or the people get experience, do they have their opportunities to grow further into the organization or into the setup, into the system?
In past we have observed that many of our who were working as a freelancer got opportunity in India Mart, and they joined, they applied for that, they cleared the interview, and we released them from here, and they joined the like a full-time role in India Mart as well. So we have many examples as of now.
Great. So you have that growth path set for them, that if they perform well, if they do well,
within
if there is an opportunity.
Within this profile, no. But if they apply and clear the things, then they can.
Yeah, sure. Based on merit, I'm only asking if they are able to compete from their requirement perspective of yours.
Definitely.
They have a growth path, definitely. Oh, that's excellent. Excellent. And the good part is that it is not confined to a city or a place. You can be anywhere on the cloud, and then he or she can really engage and give you the support what you're seeking for your customers. So that's fantastic. So anything else you would like Sarthak to imbibe or get across or collaborate with you, do let us know. And
some operational things are there, see, we got odd 200 applications as of now from Sarthak, but many of them failed due to the clarity of role and the documentation. There we can think we can work and improve that.
Sure. No, fantastic. I think you have given a platform for these special needs people, special ability people, and that is good, worthwhile. And once they engage and once they perform, I think they have the opportunity to grow further. So, any other question your colleague has, Swati, on any of our discussions, or anything
No,
you would
Sandeep,
like to add?
Just one clarification, like you talk about the growth path. So this program is entirely a freelancing program, entirely work from home. This is not related with the on-roll jobs that we have. So this is a different profile. If somebody wants to be on-roll, they might have to visit the career page of our company, apply from there. But from being a freelancer to being an on-roll employee, there's no connection as such. This is an entirely work from home, especially for female and specially abled only. There are no male candidates as such, apart from specially abled. So that's how we run it.
Oh, great. Thanks for clarifying this. And thank you so much for at least creating the opportunities for them so that they can at least have their livelihood in place. So thank you so much.
Thank you so
Moving on, Tejaswita, who we have next on the program, on the panel side from the hiring partners?
Sir, we have Suchita ji from Indigo. She joined.
Okay, great. Hi,
Yeah.
Suchita, welcome to the panel, and we would definitely like to hear from you in terms of how the candidates from Sarthak, after having got training, are they there in the aviation sector? It's a very prestigious for all of us, and also see their performance, some insight into it. What exactly you give them roles and how they are behaving, and what more is needed. Yes, Suchita.
Oh, absolutely, Sandeep. Hi, everybody. So yes, we have.
I think if you
in
can
the
switch on
past-
the cameras, it will be great. At least we are able to see people.
It's just that we
Especially-
mostly operate on Microsoft Teams, so it's little sometimes on and off with
Okay, no
respect
problem.
to Zoom. Uh, so yeah, hi everybody. That's Suchita here, and I program manage diversity at Indigo. We definitely had hired a lot of people from Sarthak in the past. I think the biggest juncture that we did was, hiring in a month of more than 100 people in the agile team. So, and different diversities. I think different disabilities from different diversity. So we're currently operating in, I think, 88 locations. So I think we've almost covered maximum with respect to SHIs and other disabilities with you guys, of course with Sarthak, no doubt. We started back, I think, in the year 2022, if I'm not wrong, 2022 or 2021. Since it's been an on and off, so many interactions, I do not recall the exact years. But yes, the numbers have pretty gone high in the past. We are currently at least, I would say, 1% population with respect to persons with disability worldwide, including India, expanding internationally going forward. So, of course, with respect to employees coming from Sarthak, of course, we have our very momentum programs in-house as well. So we train them. Once we hire them from Sarthak, we train them, and post the trainings, they are deployed back to their respective locations where they start their operations. I don't believe as of now we have ever come across any of the challenges with the candidates because they've been performing excellently well. Aviation, of course, is a very new industry for persons with disability because uh, globally there are only a few airlines that would be hiring. That too, if you look at Japan Airlines or any other airlines. Yeah, I think in India, I think we are the only ones who are giving them an opportunity that is a front-facing one, giving them an exposure to interact with the customers. Because usually, what happens is, with respect to other airlines, the roles are more or less back end. And we're really proud to announce that we are one of those airlines where employees who are speech and hearing impaired can perform a check-in for a passenger irrespective of the disability, not as non-disability. So I think that's one thing that we are really proud about. We are still experimenting, still figuring out more ways where we can, hire more of people at the airports. And of course, with respect to corporate offices, we have a lot of people here as well who are joining. We are still inviting more applications, looking forward to more support from Sarthak on the same lines. Yeah, that's about, Indigo and the entire PwD inclusion that we have been doing so far.
Excellent to hear, Suchita. What kind of roles do you give them? You did mention front end, back end roles, but what exactly are the roles?
So, ideally, we have 21 functions across. And if you look at 21 functions, of course, for cabin crew or the pilot side, and of course, a little bit of the engineering side, which has to do with the aircraft maintenance and all. We offer all sorts of roles. We are not limiting to any of those roles. We are adhering to whatever the the Aviation Ministry has guided upon the Car Act, or the DGCA has guided in the Car Act. So we are adhering to everything as of now. To be specific on certain roles, like roles at the airport. So the one that I mentioned about the agile, that is to do with the catering. So all the food packaging and everything is something that they take care of. There are a little more on the cargo side. If we talk about the logistic, the sales and everything is also there. With respect to customer service at the airport, of course, it's employee. I mean, we're talking about the passenger check-ins, the arrival, departures. You'll find them all over there. They also take care of a little bit of, like, as per the level increases, of course, you move to a little bit of the back end side as well. So now the older employees are absolutely getting promoted, and they're moving to a little more aggressive side of the roles, where they will be taking care of the actual grievances where the baggage lost is there, or if you say any flight rescheduling is happening, the crew maintenance is happening, crew alignment, the AEP, airport entry passes, working alongside with the government policies, working alongside with VCAS and everybody. So now they are moving a level up, and the interaction there is happening. Uh, of course, we understand DCAS and all these government are still not sensitized in terms of Indian Sign Language and other areas, whereas we have a little initiative that is an in-house initiative, that wherever such of interaction is going to be initiated, or we are looking forward to promote something like that, we would be sensitizing the entire DCAS team. We partner with a lot of other, vendors who can do those kind of sensitization on ground. Uh, we also look forward to creating some more accessibility, because we understand that, uh, and it's not just to do with the wheelchair users who are our passengers, but also our employees, so that they can perform check-ins smoothly. So if you're anytime visiting Terminal 1 at Delhi, you'll find the first island is now on a lower side of it. So we are still, driving this initiative for Pan India. We are reaching out to the airport authorities, giving them a heads up that, now you have to create the accessibility for our wheelchair passengers as well as the colleagues that we hire. Same goes for the dwarfism, disability, where we ensure that, whatever chairs or desks are there at the airport that is provided by the authorities are getting a little accessible to them. Else ramps and everything that I think you all know, we have done it. Pan India, I think globally again, we are one of those who have access to the ramp to board the aircraft.
Excellent. So I have one question which might I'm very curious about it. That if suppose a person with speech and hearing impaired is traveling in a flight, and he or she cannot listen to the announcements which are being made, or anything else which is supposed to be here. So how do you communicate with them? You don't have a sign language interpreter out there, but how do you really communicate with them?
So Sandeep, we have a process called 6C special assistance. So if there is a person with disability, they get an opportunity of notifying us 48 hours prior. In the
Okay.
meantime, our all our stations at this point in time mostly have persons who are speech and hearing impaired. So those are our colleagues. So before boarding the aircraft, they would personally get in touch with the person who's there. We also deal with deaf and blindness cases as well. So what we do is we notify the crew in the first place that the person who's boarding is a person who's a speech and hearing impaired person, and hence
Right.
the announcements are something that we look forward to be inclusive. And that's where one of the hearing employee accompanies the deaf employee, and they board the aircraft, and they are sensitized irrespective of the announcements. So before the flight takes off, the announcements are done in sign language, whereas some of our crew is
Okay.
specialized in Indian Sign Language, and we are creating more of such cabin crews who can, the lead cabin crews initially, who can do the sensitization for the same. So the announcements
Excellent.
we do the announcements. I mean, if you look at the metro cities, especially the crew, if they have a person who's a speech and hearing impaired, the crew will say, hi, we speak Hindi, English, Bangla, and Indian Sign Language. So they will do
Oh,
that. We speak Indian and
excellent.
then sign language. That's how they do it.
That's very good. So that's a great initiative. and I think a great support. So any challenges which you face in interacting with Sarthak to get people onboarded? And after onboarding also, do you have a definite involvement of Sarthak into the system, or do you need any support, any help, or anything which we are missing out?
I think a little more enhancement on the role, because I know airport operations is something that it is a little new. Still, it is new.
Yeah.
Uh, I still get a lot of cases where people still believe that, oh, we did not imagine that airport maybe they'll get an opportunity to work. Because
Okay.
that's where they think that it has to be a perfect 101% fitment has to be there. So I think a little more enhancement on that side, a little more shout out in terms of, you know, that there are roles, there are opportunities, and this is the kind of role. So the only ask from Sarthak would be a little more enhancement in terms of the job description, so that we you know, we would want you to reiterate with the candidate, because we work on 24/7, we work on multiple shift timings. So, I mean, the candidates have to be a little more, you know, acknowledged about the fact that this is the kind of role that they'll be into. Whereas I think we do industrial visits as well for, you know, some of our vendors and other folks who are like NGOs who would want to, you know, they look forward to people who are in the third year of the graduation and they think that, okay, aviation could be my career. So for them, we arrange a industrial visit so that visit the airport, look the ambience around, and maybe if they still believe that they can pursue a career in aviation, I think they're always welcome with open arms.
Great. So one more additional point I would like to subscribe to you, and maybe you can have a. So there are a lot of academies and colleges which does churn out people on the aviation part. Is there any process by which they are also trained there, rather than just Sarthak, but as part of the academies program or some CSR from the academies, institutions or colleges like that? They can just do a orientation for them, quick orientation that might help.
I mean, that
Because
could
we
be
are
a
not
case.
experts as Sarthak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there could be a case, but as per us, what we require, the only thing is the communication piece. If the communication is good, I think we would not hardly. I mean, communication and the behavioral are the two aspects, because we are into industry where we feel. I mean, we might be into dealing with an irate passenger, and some of the passengers are still not conscious about you know, the disability of the person. Uh, so there could be instances, and we ensure that we are constantly sending you know, reminders and initiatives to our passengers as well, that you might encounter, you know, our inclusive workforce. So, but yeah, only
Great.
communication is something that we look forward to. Nothing much. Behavioral is
Okay.
something that we groom them entirely. I mean, if you want to see instances, you can reach out to any of your you know, ex aspirants that you had. So I mean, you'll find a lot of change in them, because we have 1 month rigorous training that we borne on our own cost and everything. This training is something that changes the entire you know, spectrum of person, irrespective of what we require in aviation.
Okay, great. So thank you so much for praising us about the roles, responsibilities, and their work in this, and how they have been excelling at Indigo. And I'm sure we'll have many more to be there. The good part is your presence at 88 locations will help us to also get them recruited where they are, because they're hardly mobile from one location to another. So I think you can add up more value to it by giving them opportunities in the same areas where they are. Thank you so much, Suchita, for that.
Thank you, Sandeep.
Thank you
so much
sparing
for
your
having
time.
me here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tejaswita. And we move forward to the alumni now. We have Ganesh here to listen to his experience.
So we have 3 alumni right now: Savita, Rishabh, and Shumi Verma.
Okay. Please go ahead with them. Savita, could you come forward? आप आएंगे सविता आगे?
हाँ सर।
आप बताएंगे आपका एक्सपीरियंस सार्थक से ट्रेनिंग लेने के बाद इंडिगो में कैसा एक्सपीरियंस है आपका?
अच्छा तो सर एक साल हो गया ट्रेनिंग लेके।
अच्छा।
हाँ, ट्रेनिंग में हम लोग को सिखाया पूरा, बाद में वही लोग ने उधर से हम लोग को इधर जॉब पे लगाया।
हेलो सर।
रहमान है।
तो आप संतुष्ट हैं अपने जॉब से? आप संतुष्ट हैं अपने जॉब से?
सर हम 8 महीने से साल तक ने लगाया हमको जॉब पे इंडिगो में।
वेरी गुड।
ये सब लोग इधर ही है,
सब हैंडीकैप है सर।
सार्थक वाले ही है।
नहीं मैं नहीं हूँ।
तो आपने हवाई यात्रा की कि नहीं अभी इंडिगो में?
ये आधे लोग को बात करने नहीं आता है सर।
अच्छा, नहीं, हवाई यात्रा किया कि नहीं इंडिगो में?
मैंने किया है। मैं किया
वेरी
है।
गुड,
मैं 5 बार
बहुत
किया
अच्छा।
हूँ।
तक ने
तो
हम लोग
आपको
को
और कुछ?
ट्रेनिंग दिया है और जॉब पे भी लगाया।
ठीक है, बहुत अच्छा। अच्छे से काम करिए, चलते रहिए, आगे बढ़ेंगे आप इसी से। और कोई तकलीफ है तो सार्थक की टीम आपके लिए हमेशा तत्पर है, आपके साथ है। और इंडिगो से अभी मैडम को आपने सुना तो डेफिनेटली उनका भी हमें बहुत बड़ा साथ है। तो मिलजुल करके हम आगे बढ़ेंगे, कोई तकलीफ आती है तो।
मैं भी मीटिंग अटेंड नहीं कर पाया, मैं नीचे काम कर रहा था, अब भी आया।
कोई बात नहीं, वो भी जरूरी है। थैंक यू सविता जी, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आपने थोड़ा वेट किया, लेकिन आप चर्चा में शामिल हुए और औरों को सुना तो अच्छा है। कोई तकलीफ, कोई इम्प्रूवमेंट के लिए आपका कोई सुझाव हो तो जरूर बताइएगा और आगे के लिए।
थैंक यू सर।
ठीक है जी, थैंक यू। नेक्स्ट ऋषभ हैं, इंडिया मार्ट में जो काम कर रहे हैं ऋषभ।
बाथरूम से पेपर यस सर।
हाँ नहीं, आप म्यूट कर दीजिए, आप म्यूट कर दीजिए सविता जी, आप म्यूट कर दीजिए। अब ऋषभ आएंगे। अब ऋषभ आप बताएं। ऋषभ आप अपना एक्सपीरियंस बताएं इंडिया मार्ट का। रजिस्टर जस्ट सी इफ यू कैन कम।
यस सर। ऋषभ प्लीज आप अपना माइक अनम्यूट करेंगे। सर आई थिंक कोई इश्यू होगा, हम शुमी
नेक्स्ट
की
शुमी,
तरफ।
शुमी वर्मा। हाँ हाँ,
शुमी वर्मा आप अपना माइक अनम्यूट कर दीजिए प्लीज। हाँ जी। शुमी आपका माइक अनम्यूट नहीं हुआ है अभी।
बिफोर शुमी आए, मैं पूजा और सृष्टि मदान है इसमें ऑलरेडी हमारे पैनल
हाँ
पे।
जी सर। यस सर।
ओके ठीक है, शुमी आप बताएं,
सर
कोई असिस्टेंस चाहिए इनको?
सर आई थिंक इधर कोई इशू है, वी कैन मूव अहेड विद
ठीक है,
सृष्टि
तो
जी।
हाँ सृष्टि मदान, आपका इंट्रोडक्शन है एसोसिएट प्रिंसिपल सीएसआर में, यू आर विद इन्फो एज इंडिया लिमिटेड। सो आपका ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन भी मुझे मिला है, एंड यू हैव डन अ ग्रेट जॉब फॉर इन्फो एज बाय प्रोवाइडिंग एन इम्पैक्टफुल partnerships with us. So, and you are really helping us to create livelihoods for this part of the society. And as I understand, you were nominated as a Young India Fellow at the Ashoka University. So you have a fantastic background, and I'm sure your contribution will help us moving forward on this. And just to share with you, one of my friends from the Government Affairs has joined InfoEdge recently as Head of Government Affairs. So just 2 3 days back, we got the announcement. So good, I'm sure he'll be a good colleague of yours. And we'd like to hear from you, Shrishti, about the relationship Sarthak has with InfoEdge. And I know it very well. We are a long-time partner, and we have a fantastic association with InfoEdge. So over to you, Shrishti.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Sandeep. It's great to meet you again. And hello to everyone who's part of the panel as well as the audience. I am Srishti, and thank you, Sandeep, for the kind introduction also. As a part of the CSR at InfoEdge, we've partnered with Sarthak for more than 6 years now. It's a strong partnership where there's a lot of mutual trust, and there's also a mutual commitment towards empowering persons with disabilities, towards jobs, towards, and a fulfilling life, how we can both join hands to really make that possible. we have partnered with Sarthak for the Early Intervention Center for 6 years now. So we started that in Ghaziabad area about 6 years back. It's been going strong. There's a team of very dedicated speech therapist, occupational therapist, and special educator who are at the Early Intervention Center, where what we're trying to do is how can we identify and work on the disability as early as we can in a child's life. So it targets children under the age group of 10 to 12 who are experiencing any sort of developmental delays, so that the earlier we intervene, there are more chances to mainstream. That's what the shared philosophy has been. And I think in the last 6 to 7 years, we've touched more than 900 to 1,000 lives there. Recently, we've also partnered with Sarthak for their Sarthak Global Resource Center at Gurgaon. For whoever has not visited the center, I will strongly vouch that, and I will strongly recommend that we make time and we go there, because there are different experiences that you will do. To me, overall, actually, the GRC, as we call it, is a beacon of hope in the space of disabilities, because it has been conceptualized as that one-stop center where, from early intervention to skilling and livelihood to an incubator, an accelerator, and DNI training, and training for other organizations who are working in this space. It's all there in that one building. And I would also like to share that, in the basement of the building, they have this experience called Vision in the Dark. To say that, somebody who's, who's facing a problem with the vision or eyes, they experience things in a different way is one thing, but to experience it your own self, the kind of empathy that you will feel for our fellow individuals is something that becomes a life-changing experience, I would definitely say. As able-bodied persons who have seen, different things around us, we are still struggling and unable to, trust our own movements, trust our own senses when we experience that vision in the dark. But once you come out of it, you see that, if your vision is not with you, what are the other senses that you can proportionately or even disproportionately enhance to experience the world and, make your way through this. Other than that, there is an ability museum which tells you the very basics of accessibility that can be incorporated in the design elements of our buildings, of our institutions. And, how can we make it all inclusive? How can we just be considerate, make those small changes here and there in the infrastructure design and in the, layout of the offices of our homes, to make it easier for them to to remove any sort of barriers that can be in access to space. So we've this year we were fortunate to partner with Sarthak in just setting up the infrastructure for the livelihoods and the skilling center, which we are sure in the coming years, we are hoping that thousands of persons with disabilities will get trained. And listening to all the employers here from such different industries, I was moved to your experience at Indigo, that airports and airlines can also be a place where there is a possibility of inclusion and employment, apart from, of course, the fuel stations like one of the panelists talked about.
Yeah, these are eye-opening areas for all of us to ensure that we don't leave them apart, and they are excellent areas for growth. Even the India Mart freelancing program is something which comes to your doorstep, which can never happen, and we can't visualize these people sitting at home and making a livelihood out of this. So I think each one of them are unique in their way, either Indigo at the airports, for example, or the BPCL, which have got some challenges, but definitely it's an excellent program where they can really involve these as part of the society and bring them forward. So I'm sure, and with Info Edge giving us a greater insight into this. I think you can come out with more and more innovative solutions in recruiting and partnering with these kind of opportunities which are happening and making people go into different arenas of their work life, opening up new livelihood areas or opening up new challenges or getting them great opportunities. I think I'm sure we have a major role to play with along with us to get that. And your support for the Early Intervention Center, let me tell you that wherever we talk about and speak about the Early Intervention Center, I think they just go blow off their mind because they can't think of the kind of opportunities we are giving and the kind of treatment we are giving by way of these early intervention programs and what kind of help. I was moved about people talking that not only they had been physically to the center, but during the COVID and other times, they were virtually attached to the early intervention center. And the kind of success they met with virtual presence, I'm sure they are going to get 10 times if they visit the center. So I really push many of these people to go and physically visit the center, see what exactly happens. But they said we are so happy that virtually even on a virtual basis we are so well connected and we are so well taken care of, and they had great success stories to share their parents and the children themselves that what advantages they got out of these early intervention centers even on a remote basis. So thank you for that as well, Shrishti, and we have really got great support from InfoEdge and you as an individual, and we look forward to collaborate more in the coming times for the upliftment of the specially able people and bring them to the main part of the society. So thank you so much, and thank you for visiting GRC, because then that's where we get the right support and the right ideas about it, what's happening, and anything suggestive we have for the GRC, please feel free to share with us. We can improve upon, we can add upon, or we can really modify, because it's a start and it's a unique start, which is very, very difficult to find globally, as you rightly pointed out. We'd like to add on and like to improve over the period and try to bring in more innovation into the center. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you
for briefing us. So is Pooja there? Quickly, Tejaswita, if she's there, we can just have her experience also in terms of her involvement as a child psychologist.
Yes, sir. She is there.
Pooja, can you quickly, yeah, yes, please.
Yeah, a very warm good afternoon to everyone. So we work at I work at the part of early intervention wing, and I work as a child psychologist. So basically, we cater to children with special needs. When we are saying special needs, it means that there is some deficit or delay in the expected development of the child. The child might have issue with the neck holding, sitting, standing with support, or standing independently. Maybe issue with a linguistic skills. The child may not be able to vocalize the sounds, may not able to express or understand what is being said to the child, or the call, or in the academic part because of the limited functioning of the brain. So basically, the cases we cater into early intervention, they are neurodevelopmental disorders, because there might be many cases during the time of pregnancy or the time of birth or the post delivery. There may be some condition which has affected the brain of the child and it has arrested the development of the child. So there is a delay or deficit. So what we are doing in early intervention wing, we are doing therapies, we do intervention program for the child. So whatever we do, it's all designed in a playway manner. We don't have any structured like program that this is the way, step one is this, step two is this. So as a child comes, we do the assessment part, we take the whole detailed case history, we do assessment that exactly where the child is current functioning level is, and that helps us in designing further goals for the child. And then we go directly into the intervention program, wherein we have 3 therapies. First is occupational therapy, where we look after balance and coordination, achieving developmental milestone of the child, muscle strengthening, muscle toning of the child. Also, we work upon attention and sitting of the child. Moving on to the next therapy, which is speech therapy, where we cater to linguistic skills of the child. We try to develop, linguistic commands in the child so that the child is able to understand what is being said to the child and also express himself that what he wanted to communicate to the other person. And third is special education, where we work upon the functional academics so that the basic concept building like alphabets, numbers, in Hindi we have swar, vyanjan, fruits name, vegetables name. All this is being taught to the child. One more thing, like this intervention program is not same for all the children because every child is different. Though they have disability, but like there are range of behavior which we come across when we observe and do assessment for the child. So one program is not fit for all. So this intervention program varies from child to child because we have children with special needs. So parent are our main asset. So what we do, we thoroughly believe in training parents so that whatever we are doing at center, parents should be continuously doing at home. So because of that, when regularly that is the thing is in the practice, the child may be able to achieve thing in very faster way rather than being only handled by the therapist. So also we do like counseling for the parent because when the parent comes to the center, they don't know about the child condition. And many times they are not even able to understand what is exactly happening with the child. So in the counseling part, we take care of the parent that answering them every of their confusion, like what is exactly the disability is, what symptoms
Yes.
are associated with this disability, and what are the management, like how therapy is going to help the child and benefit the child, and as a parent what is their role in shaping the child development. So like in total sum, this is early intervention program, and we cater, when I'm saying neurodevelopmental disorders, so we cater to like children with cerebral palsy, which children with autism spectrum disorder, intellectual disability, hearing impairment, Down syndrome. We have learning disability. So all these are the cases we cater to. And also we are doing allied activities for these kids. Why? Because many of them are not able to, get admission into the school directly. Few of them are going to school, few of them are going to special schools. But allied activity in group make them help understand what is peer relation, how to build peer, how to develop peer formation, what is waiting, what is sharing, what is turn taking. So like these the children able to learn socialization skills. So the very purpose of doing early intervention program is to make the child come at par with the society using his residual capacity at the maximum limit whatever we can do.
Great, Pooja. I think you gave a very good description of the activities being carried out and how you are helping parents and children to really come up and do well moving ahead. So I would like to now bring to a conclusion of our today's discussions and an excellent overview of the hiring partners we had, excellent overview of the alumni we had, their experiences and the needs as we going forward. I'm sure the team has noted down about what the hiring partners need and how we can overcome certain challenges which we are facing on this. So with this, I would like to thank everybody who is on the panel who came forward to really tell us about their experiences, and I'm thanking all of them for this. And just to give you a recap, we have two apps which we have developed. One is Cap Sarathi and the other is Rozgar Sarathi, and these apps can really help people to go for for a collaborative initiative, and also Rozgar Sarathi where they can find their jobs, online jobs. The postings are done and the best way is to really involve there and get employed in different companies. So I'm sure all of us will get benefited about these apps. So more and more you use and more advantages we can get out of this. So with this, I thank everybody on the panel and the people who helped shape us this program, especially Tejasvita and her colleagues, and especially Vidushi. She has been relentlessly giving us the sign language over the entire panel. So thank you very much for this effort. And this is a very great effort from you, Vidushi, and thank you, Tejasvita, and everybody onto this call. Thank you so much, and have a good day. Tejasvita, over to you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, sir, for joining. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir, for joining.
Thank you.